Okay, so we'll be having a brief introduction into the Digital Health Africa Sandbox, and we'll first go through this slide, and then we'll just have a brief look at what the sandbox looks like and what we'll expect as we go through this training. The sandbox is an analysis environment for spatial data. It's basically an online platform that allows us to carry out spatial analysis. And through that platform, we're able to access data, analyze data, and get results for any spatial analysis we want to carry out. It's an interactive environment, but it's also based on coding. And to an extent, you need to be able to understand basic coding to be able to work with the Jupyter Notebook. However, it does not really require you to be so much an expert in, JavaScripting or Python coding, as some of the notebooks that are there only just require you to make some few tweaks to it and you'll be able to use it. However, it's based on the Python programming language and it contains notebooks and based on the Open Data Cube that allows you to access data, spatial data, and based on that, you can carry out the analysis you want to use. Now, just like all other Digital Health Africa platform, the sandbox is free and you can access it using the link below. I believe this has been shared with all the participants, so you all have access to the Digital Health Africa sandbox. Please feel free to use the link below to access that page even while this demonstration is going on. Now, please go to the sandbox using the link shown here, sandbox.digitalearthafrica. Now, if you're a new user, you would need to sign up. But if you're an existing user, you would only just need to log in and input your details. For a new user, you would have to sign up and provide a valid email address. You have to give your name and you have to give a strong password. If you look at this demonstration here, you can see what is required of your passport, of your password. Now, when you have put in your password and clicked sign up, a verification code will be sent to the email, which also gives you a reason why you have to use a very valid email. Now, that authentication code, you would need to type in the code and click confirm before your account can be created. Now, once you have been able to confirm your email using the verification code, you can now log on to the Digital Health Africa sandbox environment. Now, once you do that, you would be given options to choose your default environment. Now, there are two options there, and usually you pick the default one, which is the first one, and then give it a few minutes to automatically process and redirect you into the notebook. Now, for all of us who are participating in this workshop, you already have been given access to the notebooks. So please just go to your email. I believe an email has been sent to all of you. Go to your email and follow the link to access the sandbox. You can sign in using the account detail and password that is given. Alternatively, you can put in your email and address and then choose forgot password, and it can allow you to change the password for your access. So the system will send you an email to allow you to reset your password. Now, if you have been able to go through that, you would have your screen look like this, the Sandbox Jupyter environment. Now, usually you would have the title bar with this, the sandbox there, and then you have your menu bar with these functions given. You have your table of contents, and then you have the main page where you are going to have your notebooks run when you are carrying out any kind of analysis. Now, if you go through the content of the table of content, you are going to see folders there that contain some already existing notebooks which you can explore. For example, if you go into the beginners folder, you are going to have several folders that anyone who is, just starting up can, run through them and see how the sandbox works. You would have others like use cases that give where you have notebooks where others have run projects from start to finish, and you can access them and even, utilize them for your own study too. Now, on the Jupyter Notebook, you have the main work area, which is the area that enables the opening and closing of notebook documents. When you open notebooks, you can open multiple notebooks at the same time, but they will all be shown in tabs in the main window of your work environment. Now, the table of contents shows all the folders. Sorry. The table of contents shows all the folders that are available, and you can also create your own folders, just like you would have in your typical, laptop or workspace environment, where you can create notebook folders and put in documents in your folders. You can also do similar on your table of contents. Now you also have the menu and the progress bar, which provides various menus and functionalities that allow you to see all your processing. So I'll just go back so that you would look through. So you can have processing like upload, download. You can see status of whatever process you are running. You can log out while you are running any process on your notebook. You can see your CPU, showing that activity is going on. Usually when it's working, you would see that in red. You have your memory and so on. So all of this just allows you to see how well your notebook is running. And then you also have the left sidebar that shows how what you're browsing, shows when you're running a kernel, and allows you to terminate and code snip termination and code snippet explorer. Now, for every notebook you create, it is stored with an extension .ipybn, and you would usually see it on your table of contents, right? So for any notebook you create, you have your notebook looking like this. For example, what we have on the screen here is an untitled notebook, and you can see the extension .ipynb, which is a Python extension. And then for each one, you have a cell. So when you type in a code which you want to run, you would type in that code, and you can see the function bar just under the tab. Those allow you to, make adjustments or to whatever you are typing in any of your cell. For example, you can cut content, you can copy content, you can paste content, you can save, you can add, which is creating a new cell. And then you can run the content of your cell. So if you have finished typing a code, clicking on this play button is going to allow you to run the content of that cell, and then you get a result. You can also stop the process, you can redo it, you can fast forward, and so on. So to open a new work page, you can simply, to open a new untitled document, you can rename that document. You simply right click and select new, and then new folder or new file, which will be a new IPYNB document. And then you can rename it to any name of your choice. For example, let's say we wanted to create a new untitled page. We can name it, water resources notebook, and then we can carry out whatever we want to do with it. The highlighted area here, which is this, shows you how you can navigate your notebooks, such as doing functions like save, add, cut, copy, paste, play, or stop, or even restart your kernel while running. Now, you are going to have some already existing notebooks being used for this workshop, and it's going to be shared with you. I remember my colleague mentioned that you would even be expected to do a little bit on your own at the end of the day. Now, you are going to have to upload those notebooks. So you don't always have to create a new notebook. Sometimes when you have a notebook shared with you, you can upload those notebooks into your Jupyter node, your sandbox. And that is done using this button here. Now, when you click on this button here, it's going to ask you to navigate to your computer, to wherever you would have saved the .ipynb file. And once you select that, it's going to upload. So you'll see the uploaded file will be listed in your table of contents. And if you double click on it, you'll be able to open it. Now, to run any cell in your notebook, all you need to do is press the play button, or you use on your keyboard, you press Shift plus Enter, and it will run any cell that is currently selected. Now, if you're done with your notebook, then you should close and shut down the notebook. Note that just closing the screen does not shut down your notebook. So to do that, you would have to go to shut down and click OK when prompted. So this would ensure that the notebook shuts down properly. Now, if you just close the screen, then the notebook browser is just closed, but the computational energy engine, or kernel, is still working. Now, you would have access to a folder where you can access all the notebooks that will be used for this exercise. However, what it would be good for all of us to do right now will be, one, to create a folder on our table of contents, to rename the folder with our first name, and then open the created folder so that we can upload all the notebooks that would be used for this exercise. So, like my colleagues have mentioned, you can have access to all other resources on Digital Earth Africa through the Digital Earth Africa website on www.digitalearthafrica.org. You can have access to learning resources on learn.digitalearthafrica.org. You have access to the GitHub. Of course, we are making use of the sandbox in this exercise. And you can also subscribe to the Digital Earth Africa community, as well as sign up for the weekly live events. Please send an email to info@digitalearthafrica.org if you have more information. And here is to acknowledge our ecosystem builders. Now, before we go, I'll just quickly share my screen so that we can get a quick hands-on on what the sandbox actually looks like beyond just the slides. So I'll stop sharing and reshare my sandbox screen. Okay, I see someone is sharing. Please, could you stop sharing? Adamu Ismaila, please, could you stop sharing your screen? Thank you. Okay, so this is what the landing page on the Digital Earth Africa platform looks like after you have logged in using your email and password credentials. And then, of course, set the default loading environment and allow it to log you into the Jupyter Lab. Now, this is what the screen would usually look like. Occasionally, Digital Earth Africa has some information for users, which is going to be on the landing page. And so in this case, you can see some information like categorization of Digital Earth Africa tools and services into various SDGs, various thematics, and some sandbox information page. You can click to access them. You have citations, additional resources. Feel free to explore the content of this. Now, on the left side of your page, you are going to have the table of contents. On the top, you have the menu bar. You can explore them to see what they contain. You have file, where you can open a new notebook, new text notebook, Jupyter text, new launcher. You can use the check out the edits that can allow you to undo, redo, cut and copy. You have view, you have run, where you can run a selected cell. You have kernel, which allows you to interrupt or stop kernel and run all or selected cells. You have the JITs, you have various tabs, settings, and as well as the help. Now you also have a list of existing notebooks that are there. Like I mentioned, you have the beginner's guide, you have data sets, you have use cases. And in my case, I have done some work with water resource management, and this folder will contain those notebooks that were used during that exercise. Now, I would like us to try to create our own folder. And to do that, just simply come to an empty space on your table of content, right click, and select new folder. Having done that, we can rename the folder, and I would call this Agriculture and Water Resources Training. Please feel free to call it anything you want. You can even, for ease of identification, you can call it your own name. Just use something that you would be able to trace. And then clicking out would establish that folder. Now, if I double click into this folder, I have an empty space. Now I can upload all the notebooks that are to be used for this workshop. Now, to upload existing notebooks, simply go to this button up here where you have the upload. Click on it. Okay. And now you will have access to your folder, probably where you have all the downloaded notebooks. I'll just open mine. Okay, here is one of the notebooks I'd like to download. And just as a bit of a way to show you, you can see they are all saved with the extension IPYNB. So I'm going to select that and click open. And then one of the notebooks we are going to use have already been loaded into the folder.
Hello.
And of course, you can click to open it. Yes?
Please. We are not together, madam.
I
Hello.
didn't get that.
I said we are not together. We are not together. Do you
Okay.
hear me?
I can hear you.
I say you are not together. Because me, I am not able to access to the platform. I am still click on it, but I make my password. I make my email, but I am not able to access.
Okay. Do you have you been sent the links to your email, the link
Ye-
of your login details?
Yes, I got the link, but when I click on it, I get something to put my email. When I insert my email, it told me to put, it get me to put a password. I put password, but it can't work.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'll direct you right now to the team so that they are going to help to troubleshoot whatever issues you are having.
Sorry?
I believe someone will contact you in a moment now, so
Okay.
that if you have any issues with your login, somebody can help you with it.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Okay.
Sorry, ma. I don't think he's having issues with his login. It's more like a prerequisite for everybody that is just joining the what's it called, the platform. You need to like create a password for yourself in order for you to log in, and that's what he's trying to refer to. Immediately you try to access it, they will send another mail for him to reset his password, and
Okay,
that's the
so
state he is
like I
currently.
said,
So
the team will be in contact with him shortly. So
I mean,
someone,
if you continue like this, then we can't meet up with the speed at which you're going with. Yes.
oh, I've not started any analysis. I'm just showing you a walkthrough which you can do at any time. So like I mentioned, I just want you to be able to look at what the screen looks like, get familiar with what the screen looks like, so that when the activity actually starts, you'll be able to follow. Like I was saying, all I have done here, once you're able to log in, you're going to have the landing page. I haven't even opened any page. All I have done is logged in. So the only thing I have done extra is to create a folder, which just as you would do on your own computer, all you'd have to do is just come to the table of content, right click, select new folder. Are you with me? If you're having issues with login, please, someone will reach out to you shortly. But if it is the access to as long as you have the email sent to you, you would have access to the notebook, to the sandbox. But all we have done so far is just to create a folder.
Man, the email sent to us was just the link to the site. There was no login email sent to anybody. Okay, for me personally, I didn't get any login email. The link that I
Sorry,
got was
I
just
didn't
the
hear you. Can you
site.
please come again?
Please, participants, kindly make use of the chat for now. If you have any issue, just express it on the chat. We'll be attending to you through that. Please, for now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, participants. Please do well to, state any issues you have. And like I mentioned, someone will contact you very quickly. So, for those who are able to log into the sandbox, please try to create a folder and just, name it anything that you will be comfortable with. Like we mentioned in the beginning, use your own name so that, it's easy for you to see. And all you need to do is use this button here to navigate to any file that will be given to you to upload into the sandbox. I see another hand up. Priscilla Dada, do you have something for us?
Yes, the chat has also been disabled, so we are not able to enter the yes. I didn't receive the email to log into the sandbox, the platform.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. Thank you very much. A colleague will reach out to you very soon. Sorry about that. Okay. The other things I'd like to show you would be this bar. Currently, we wouldn't run anything because I'm thinking many of us are not quite on the same page. But these allow you to save, add, cut a cell, copy a cell, or even paste a cell. And then you can use this to run any cell, to stop any cell from running, or even to restart your kernel. Let me go back to the working folder. Okay, so other tools you might find are, you can use this to create a new folder. You can use this to create a new launcher. To launch a new document, you can just click on that. Clicking on this plus adds a new launcher, which you can simply use to create a new notebook. For example, if I click on this, it would open a new notebook for me. So simply click on the plus to open a new notebook, and then click on notebooks to open it. Now, if you are comfortable with Python scripting, you can feel free to type in any script, and then once you have typed in your script and you are satisfied with the content, you can simply click on the play button, which will run that cell, right? Or if you want to stop the cell from running while you have, after you have clicked the play, you can click on the stop. Now, usually when a cell has been run, you are going to see your CPU working, and in most cases, you are going to see your CPU in red while it's working, as well as how much disk space you are using for carrying out that particular exercise. Okay, I think at this point I'm going to stop here so that I give room to my colleagues to show you more about scripting in the sandbox, as well as carrying out the analysis for which all of us are here today. Thank you very much. Any questions, please feel free to type them in the chat box. Thank you.